I can remember a couple years ago in sixth grade, I wasn't doing so well. My mental health was poor. I was pretty unhealthy, eating sugar constantly, scrolling on YouTube Shorts, playing like Minecraft and Valorant and I was just doing like the bad habits. School was a pressure and the people at school were just fucking assholes, and I hated school to the max. And I can just remember feeling this every single night. Every single night I would just be like, man, I wish I could just be like 3 years old again. I wish I could just be like 4 years old, because like I didn't have any responsibilities. I was all happy and playful and didn't have to worry about anything. There was no like school to fucking worry about, and life was just good. I had friends. And you may be thinking this as well, like, oh, the good old days. Like, I wish I was, you know, the good old days when there were no responsibilities, no fucked up school, no shit mental health problems. I was all happy all the time. Just, oh yeah, the good old days. Oh yeah, and by the way, bro, if you're around my age, if you struggle with the same or similar things that people our age struggle with, consider subscribing down below, because as I go through my journey, my challenges, I teach you exactly how I overcame these things. And most guys that teach teenagers problems, they're around 30 years old. They experienced it 15 to 20 years ago, and they don't even know what they're talking about because they're not experiencing it now. I am going through these things now. I teach you these things that my friends and these things that I learn now as I go through them. So if that sounds cool to you, consider subscribing down below. Alright, let's get back to it. But you need to see it from a positive perspective. Because if you think about it, the good old days are now. In 10 years, it'll be like, oh yeah, like back when I was, 12 to 16, those were the good old days. And then when you're 30, you'll be like, oh, back in my 20s, those were the good old days. And when you're in your 50s, you'll be like, oh yeah, the 30s were the good old days. And then back in your 60s, you'll be like, or in your 90s, you'll be like, oh yeah, like this my 70s were like the good old days. You'll constantly be thinking, oh yeah, the good old days. You'll constantly be living in the past. You're always going to be looking back and saying, "Oh yeah, those were the good old days," and you're constantly going to be thinking about, "I wish I could just be younger," and you're going to keep doing that, and you're just going to keep living in the past, and you're just going to waste time not enjoying your life, not living life, and you're just going to live life in your past, thinking about other, like, memories. Now it's good to think about memories and use that as motivation and you know um, like, you know, recognize the memories, but don't dwell over it and waste time living in the past, wishing you just could just go back in time, because you can't. Don't waste time living in the past, because that's just gonna waste memories you could have had now. Remember these past memories and think of them and use them as like motivation, and be like, yeah, I'm actually, you know what? I don't want to go back in time. I'm gonna live life how I am now. I'm gonna live life how I am now, and I'm just gonna fucking make it better. Don't like keep going back to these past memories and be like, oh, I wish I could just be 3 again. Be like, well, yeah, I'm gonna create an even better like life for myself. I'm gonna create an even better life where I'm like happier than I was before. Like, use this as motivation, man. The key is presence. See, when you're present, you're not worrying about shit. You're not thinking about the past. You're not being unhappy. You're just present. You're just here. You're not thinking about anything. You're not overthinking. You're not wishing. You're just present. You're here in the present moment. And do you want to know why those memories of the good old days were so good? Because you were present. You know why you were so happy? Because you were present. You weren't worrying about anything. You know, your parents were probably shouting in the household. Maybe you didn't know what they were saying, but you were present. You had some difficulties, but you had a good life for yourself, and you were present. You weren't thinking about, oh yeah, back when I was 1 years old, I was the good old days. You were present. You didn't develop like the thoughts in your mind that you have now. That's why. That's how you create memories. All those times you're thinking about the good old days, all those good old days, all those memories you think about, you were present during those. That's how you create memories. You create memories by being present. And now that you aren't present, now that you're just thinking and living in the past, that means you won't create new memories. And you'll constantly be just thinking into the past. You're not gonna be the man you want to be. You're not gonna keep growing. You're just gonna keep falling down. And you're just gonna keep thinking, oh, I was better back then. No, fuck that. Use that as motivation. Be like, fuck that. I wasn't better back then. I'm gonna fucking be better now. You know, you should be able to grow as you grow. You should be able to grow as a person as you grow as a human. You should be able to grow as a person as you grow, like, physically grow. But the problem is we are living in the past. So we don't grow, and we get complacent, and then we actually start to decline. Instead of living in the past, be like, well, I'm gonna make my life now 3 times better than the past. You know, I'm gonna make a great life for myself. I'm gonna become financially free. You know, you can actually have the good old days your whole life. You can have this. You can be thinking back to the good old days and be like, oh yeah, those were fun. But damn, like, my life is great now. You can have that. You can be like a free human being. That is what the masculine drive is, to become free from his purpose. So work relentlessly. Work towards your purpose, work towards your mission, work towards your goals. Work relentlessly to create a free, great life for yourself, a fulfilled life. Play for the present and work for the future. Play and have fun like there's no tomorrow. But work like your whole life depends on it. And what I mean by that is play like there's no tomorrow. Play like when you're having fun, specifically just having fun, being in a social setting. Play like there is no tomorrow. Play like this is the last time, and just be present, have fun, have the most fun you can. Don't be thinking about the past because you know there's no future. So you're just gonna make this the best moment possible, right? But then work relentlessly as if your whole life depends on it. Meaning, don't just work like there's no tomorrow, because that means you wouldn't work. You wouldn't work. If there was no tomorrow, you wouldn't be working. You would be fucking, like, having as much fun as possible. But work like your whole life depends on it. Work for the long term. See, there is this quote from the book The Way of the Superior Man. Most men make the error of thinking that one day it will be done. They think, if I can work enough, then one day I could rest. Or, one day my woman will understand something and then she will stop complaining. Or, I'm only doing this now so that one day I can do what I really want with my life. The masculine error is to think that eventually things will be different in some fundamental way. They won't. It never ends. As long as life continues, the creative challenge is to tussle, play, and make love with the present moment while giving your unique gift. This is in the first chapter of this book for a reason. Because the number one masculine error is to think that once I can do this, then this will be better. You need to be present. Play like there's no tomorrow. Have fun every single day. Don't just be working long hours every single day, not engaging in anything. And I mean, fair if you're grinding on your business and everything, fair enough, but like I am too. But if you're having fun and doing things, then that gives you video ideas. That gives you life experiences that you can talk about to your children. The point of doing your business isn't to just make money for the fuck of it. It's to make money so you can create a great life for yourself. And if we look at this quote from The Way of the Superior Man again, we can see that the point of business, sure, yeah, the point of business is to make money, technically. But you don't want to make money in a way that hurts the world. You don't want to make money in a way that you hate it. If you're just helping chiropractors scale, do you like be honest? Do you really enjoy doing that? Is that really your mission? Be honest with yourself, because you need to work for the long term. Don't just work for the short term results that you're gonna get now. And again, like I said, work like your whole life depends on it. Play like there's no tomorrow, but work like your whole life depends on it. Don't work like just to get the results quickly, like the short-term results. Work for the very long term and enjoy your work. Because otherwise, there's no point. Otherwise, you're just doing something you hate just for the material success. What comes out of working on a business is the joy of doing it, is the joy of not having to do something you hate, like go to school, for example, or work a 9 to 5. That's the point of business, is to live a better life, to be financially free. But if you're working some business you fucking hate and you don't actually like it, and it's just you just wish you could make money doing what you love, well, you can make money doing what you love. That's the point of business. Otherwise, you should just work a 9 to 5 under a boss rule. So if you play and you tussle with the present moment and you have fun, you experience life as it was intended to be, then you will ultimately have a better life. If you're a present man, if you are a present, clear-headed, not overthinking about the past, working towards his goals, fulfilled, present man, if you are one of these, if you are present, you ultimately will have a great life. So stop living in the past. Stop thinking about, fair enough, you can think about these past memories. That's great. That's the point of making memories. But you won't make any new ones by just thinking about the past constantly and not making anything of the present, not making anything of the future. So use this video as motivation to stop worrying about what happened before, stop dwelling and wishing you could go back in time. Figure out how you can solve your problems today. Stop wishing you could go back in time and grow down. Stop wishing you could become younger. Start to grow up and be well, yeah, I'm gonna take on fucking responsibilities. What am I, low T or something? Yeah, I'm gonna fucking make my life as best as possible. I'm gonna become a masculine man that can take responsibilities and still live a great life. Now, fair enough, if you hate school and it's not part of your purpose and you don't even give a fuck about it and you know that it's fucking useless and you don't even want a job that requires a degree, you want to even start a business that doesn't even require you to go to school at all. And you know it's just useless, but you're doing it because your parents want you to do it. and you're doing it because the law requires it, then I get you. I know what you mean. And what I tell you to that is to watch the video that I put in the description, because that video explains how I spend only 3 hours a day on school. And I don't even, like, I'm not even exaggerating, literally 3 hours a day on school. That's not a lie. So, go watch that video if that's one of your struggles. You hate fucking school, because I get it. But know that you should stop living in the past. Start grinding for the future and living in the present. And make your life as best as possible as you can now. That all starts with self-improvement. Have a good day, man. Peace out. And I'll see you in the next one. Mwah!